Hey everyone, as we walk into the new year, we should have new goals and new aspirations. So that's what we're going to be talking about today on the podcast. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode of the Bump Podcast. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Bump Podcast. I'm your host Shamir, here with my co-host and beloved brother Nabil.
Hey everybody, happy new year. We're in a new year, new season. We're ready to rock and roll this year. It's going to be great here on the Bump Podcast. Hopefully you guys are doing well, are healthy. I know a lot of people have been sick lately because of the different change in seasons, especially if you live out here in the Everglades. You know, one day it's cold, the next day it's hot, the next day it's muggy and it's raining.
Exactly. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the ringle dingle dingle. And follow us on all our social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and our YouTube channel, as usual, Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, it's essential.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about our goals, our aspirations, what we're feeling, what we're not feeling anymore, because guess what? Last year was last year. This is a new year. Yeah. Like we said in last episode as well, you know, you can start today. You don't have to start tomorrow, the new year or whatever. Just start today. Your new quest, your new goals, you know, and just push through them, you know.
And it's kind of cool, right? Like it's kind of a mental thing for us, but I feel like it's literally like pressing the restart button on this journey that we call life. You know, it's a good thing because I feel like most of us will go in tired from the previous year, then we're just like, okay, we're ready for something new. You know, a lot of you guys can associate yourselves with this. You know, we typically kind of do some New Year's resolutions. The only reason I don't necessarily follow that anymore is because, like, if I want to set my mind for a new thing, whether it's losing weight, working out, whether it's, you know, trying to find a better job or a healthier relationship with people, you just need to start that today, because you don't know if you're going to make it into the next day or the next year. Right. So we have to kind of be, you know, we have to just strike now, you know, and so that's why I don't necessarily follow that trend. But I think it's also healthy to have these resolutions. Just don't overwhelm yourself with whatever goals and aspirations you have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I know going into this year, what is it that you want to accomplish this year? What, you know?
Let me say the saying real quick, because it's very based off what I want to say today. It says the best way to predict the future is to create it. One of my main things that I learned last year was to just continue to go through whatever adversity life brings you, because it's just going to turn into, you know, it's like turning wounds into wisdom.
Yeah.
You know,
that's good. Yeah.
And I feel like it doesn't matter. I feel indestructible now. Now I feel like I have an armor that's just very hard to beat and to, you know, destroy, honestly. And I feel like this new year, one of my main goals is to level up in society in regards to the economic portion of my life, to be able to provide a better living for my family. I think that should be any goal for anybody that cares about their family or loved ones, you know, and get out the mud and be able to succeed, and you know, hard work always pays off.
Absolutely.
Sometimes the
takes longer.
The pathway, it might take longer. There might be a lot more issues than other ways of gaining, you know, the things you want and the needs that you have, you know, and to be able to fulfill this whole agenda, it sometimes it's a rough path, but once you get through it, you know, it's a great feeling of accomplishment. And I felt that time and time again as, you know, since I've gotten out of prison, I've felt like, you know, each year that's gone by has been a better year. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was actually incarcerated, there was a homeboy of mine that said, you know, he's been in prison twice, but every time he's gotten out, it's been way better than everything prior to you know, those sentences and whatnot. So I took his word for it, and honestly, it's honestly been 100% true. I've
I'm
accomplished
sure.
things that I haven't ever thought I was able to accomplish. But back on topic of my goals, reading, getting back to my reading habits. I literally told my lady the other day, I'm like, let's go back to reading nights, reading dates that we have that will take an hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours of our night after my son is asleep.
Yeah.
And we literally just sit down and read instead of Netflix and chill, all that. Netflix
you can do
and
that
chill
even after,
gets women pregnant. You know what I'm saying? But so you got to watch out, guys. To all the homies out there that are listening. But other than that, I think that reading is a huge tool that we could use to create power, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Definitely.
Whether it's the Bible that you're reading, whether it's a good book, educational, whatever it is. Even just exercising the brain with a novel or something. You're keeping your brain
active
in constant movement. You're moving those chemicals around. You need to do that.
Yeah.
So I literally told her, we got to get back on that. And the problem is, this is the downfall. It's not lack of consistency of reading. The problem is that there's certain times in life where you have so much to do when you own or you rent a household, when you have a kid, when you have school, when you have work, when you have podcasts, when you have so many things on your list to do that sometimes you can't even finish everything in that day. So then it leads on throughout the week, and you sometimes are exhausted. You can't even read a page of a book. And
that's okay. It'll happen.
Right. And, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm explaining it and breaking it down for people to understand that, we can understand that there's situations in our life that sometimes can get us a little bit off track of the habits that we have already. But, it's also setting the priorities straight, because there's been moments where I've caught myself doing other things and I'm like, I could totally be reading right now. I could totally be doing this.
Yeah, do something more productive.
Yeah, so that's one of my main goals this year, especially because it's a new semester in school. I have 4 classes this semester, so it's definitely going to be very busy. Also working and obviously the traveling back and forth from what I'm going to be doing. It's a 4-hour drive between coming and going. To and go and to come, so there's going to be a lot of time consumed, but it's definitely going to be a lot more organized schedule for me. Thank God. But and also probation gave me the permission to maneuver.
Even better, because at least they know.
That was like my main thing, man, honestly, to be able to
I'm sure that they just said, just make sure you keep in communication with us type
that
thing.
And make sure you come back on every day so it's okay, and it's worth it, but
these are the sacrifices we need to do on a day-to-day basis, and on a annual basis, on a yearly basis, because that's how you'll be able to see the fruits of your labor slowly but surely. That's why you see a lot of people who are in business, in a manager position and things like that. Like, you have to work in order to be able to maintain your family, maintain your household, to be able to have some money left over even after you've covered all your bills. You have to work, especially while we're young. I think a lot of people don't get that. The younger you are and the more you work hard, by the time you reach your 40s, 50s, you could probably retire. Some people even retire in their late 30s. Like, that's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to do that, but I don't think I'll get there necessarily, and that's okay. Like, I wouldn't want to retire that young, where it's like, okay, what do I do now? You know what I mean? Like, I want to be productive for as long as I can.
Especially if you're in the acting industry, where like you can.
Harrison Ford, the man's practically in his 80s, and he's still working. He says he doesn't want to stop.
Morgan Freeman and all them guys.
Morgan Freeman.
I think he's in his 90s now. No.
Morgan Freeman?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's very close to it.
Probably.
Anyways, I think that. That's kind of the industry, especially if you love what you're doing. Some people, like my doctor, my chiropractor doctor, he's already in the age to retire. I think he's like 67, 68.
He could have retired at 65.
But he's like, I just love helping people, and I love what I do. I come to work, it doesn't feel like work. I'm just chilling. Yeah, and honestly, his job is like that. The chiropractor industry is not a heavy job. It's not manual labor per se. I mean,
A little bit, because they got to work on your back and do different
but
things
it's not
to crack
something
it.
that you're breaking, because you're using the person's body weight to be able to
Correct.
adjust. You know, it's not like you're doing like
No, yeah.
straight. You know, and then all the machines that there is nowadays that help them. You know, decompression and all that stuff. There's just a lot of things that help them nowadays. But you know, the main thing is that as long as you love what you're doing, I think that should be the main goal for this year, to continue to search for what you love to do as opposed to working. You know, I was watching a video yesterday where it says that consumers will be people that always consume, and if you're trying to level up in your life, you have to stop being a consumer and start being a producer, right? And True. Honestly, that is so relevant to what I'm trying to do in my life in regards to marketing and stuff like that, because a main thing that I've noticed in regards to the marketing strategies that I'm going to apply to my business is that I'm going to be the marketer. I'm going to be the person that not just only is recording things, is doing the video editing and all these things. I'm all in one, but it's also the fact that I actually have a bit of more talent than a lot of these people. Like a lot of these business owners,
because you put in more of the hours in the grind for it, whereas some people just want to kind of get something done basic, and then they're just like, all right, we're gonna use that.
And even then, it's just like, because it's like there's a difference between good content and just content to just put out there. You know what I'm saying? There's been times, and I could be honest of the podcast. There's been times where we've put in great work, great research into our information, and then we've also done episodes where they're just fill-ins for that week or that month.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and it's not, and you could see the difference in the views, and you could also see the difference in the quality that we put out. We always try to do things with quality, but I'm being 100% honest. You could see the difference in certain episodes. And the feeling also, because if it's like a good story that we've put out or whatever, you could see the man that we can't stop talking, and
he can't stop talking on a regular. So imagine that for the podcast.
You know, and that's also that's one of my strengths, to talk, to be able to just let it all out. So honestly, you know, podcasting is a thing for me and for Nabil, and but back on topic to what I was saying is that a lot of these people that promote their own businesses, like let's say if you have your own business, I'm gonna promote my own business so they can see my face. Well, that's a good thing, but if it's not appealing content where people can be intrigued for another 15 to 20 seconds of what you got to say to the message and a call to action and all these things, then you could sponsor. Listen, I've seen people sponsor their videos, and I don't sponsor videos at all, and I still get more views than them on a regular basis, whether if it's an Instagram reel or a TikTok reel. And it's just, but it's the difference of how we do things, you know. And I know for a fact, doing the you know, that I want to do commercials and stuff like that, and like voiceover on like commercials, and that's what I've been practicing lately. I just released a video of EA Sports one, and I've gotten excellent feedback on it. I don't sound 100% like the dude, but I'm definitely, I sound nice, I sound good.
And a lot of voice actors will tell you when they're voice doubling someone, meaning you're imitating the person, you're never going to sound 100% the same. You'll be close to it. You'll get like to 90, 95, but you'll never get it. I mean, the guest we had on earlier this year, James Arnold Taylor, he's a professional voice actor. Like, you guys could see his body of work, and I mean, his work speaks for himself. But you know, he's had to voice double for multiple actors, and he does sound like
he sounds freaking identical to the guy from Click, the old guy.
Adam Sandler.
No.
Oh, Christopher Walken.
Walken. He's very, very close to Christopher Walken. And there was a guy recently that I saw. He was doing the EA Sports imitation, but he didn't sound like the guy. He wasn't that similar, but he did sound very close. I'll show you the video after we're off air. The guy that did the voice of Crunk on the Emperor's New Groove.
Patrick Warburton. Yeah,
dude. The same thing. Like, really? There's certain things. There's
certain notes that you can get there.
That, like, bro, like people could get there almost 100%.
I couldn't imitate Patrick Warburton. He's got that very, very deep, you know,
raspy,
right?
Yeah. No, but that
I was
guy,
trying to think of other dialogue, but I got nothing.
He's a legend. He's a legend.
Patrick
But
Warburton.
there was a guy that, yeah. So there's very limited times that you'll get very accurate to the person, but there's just times where it's there, you know, and you know, some people could do like Donald Trump's voice. You're very similar to Donald Trump.
Mine's all right though, versus
It's
some
not
other
terrible.
people out there. You know.
Yeah, and then another thing too, like now there's AI that kind of imitates the voice.
And so that's why, I mean, we're gonna go off on a tangent, but that's why that's why last year we had the actor strike, because a lot of voice actors are like, bro, they can literally use our voice just by getting stuff that we've already done, putting it into the AI system, and then you get new dialogue.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks.
Yeah.
So AI is gonna wipe out a lot of stuff in the near future, most likely.
Yeah.
You know, why do you need these actors when we can just go ahead and use them in a processing machine and pay them off? And I'm sure some actors will be like, well, you know what? I might make a good come up and I don't ever have to work again. So, all right, let me sign off the rights.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones, who does Darth Vader and Mufasa, he signed his ability for them to use his voice.
Wow.
Just, you know, I don't know, maybe a year before he passed away.
That's crazy.
So now going forward, we can hear Darth Vader sounding like James Earl Jones is still alive, even though he's dead.
Yeah.
You know,
because I've seen certain AI too it's kind of accurate, but sometimes it's not there. But at the end of the day, I still feel like there will still be a certain business for voice actors, because it's like, you know,
but they don't even make as much as live action actors do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like now you're affecting them even more by having this AI system.
Yeah,
that just sucks.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Because think about it, like, okay, if you're doing freelance, like what I'm trying to do, you know, I can't get the Allstate guy's voice to do my commercials, because then they're gonna be like, hey, that's you know infringement, you know, it's
copyright infringement, yeah.
You know, and so
now you gotta pay them.
There's limitations on those things. So I feel like freelance is definitely gonna be a lot bigger in regards to what the business is right now, in regards to voiceover, because it just makes sense. And if you look at it too, like not just voiceover, like journalism and stuff like that, like you see a lot of independent journalists out there now giving more accurate news than news feeds that we're seeing right now.
100%. That's the kind of content I prefer.
No,
that's
for sure.
A whole other
yeah.
thing.
But
that's
anyways, you know, our goals seem to be very, very on point this year. I think
what we didn't accomplish this year is what's moving into this new year in 2025. We're just trying to, again, we want to make this podcast here better. We want to be able to have more followers, more viewers, more people, you know, commenting down below in this particular video or videos in the past. Excuse me. We want to be able to grow, so that we can provide you with nothing but the best the more we move forward. What else can I say? We definitely want to be able to get more guests on where you guys can be able to relate to them. I mean, that is for me, in my mind, that's a goal for this podcast, big goal, like to get as many guests as possible, and not just like have filler episodes, but really have content where it's just like, wow, these guys had this person on or that person on, and man, they were just so relatable. They were so good. They were honest. They were truthful. They, you know, I felt what they were saying.
Yeah.
You know, and in terms of our careers, our personal lives, and everything like that, we want to keep moving forward as well. I think it's important to be able to write a list where it's practical, where it's not overwhelming. If you think it's overwhelming, you know, try to make sure that at least your top 5, let's say out of 10, are the ones you really want to accomplish hard, and that you're able to check it off the list sooner rather than later. So then you can move on to the next step. Don't overwhelm yourself, because I have done that to myself plenty of times, and it sucks.
I saw this video recently of this guy that said if you want to accomplish certain goals, you should write them down in present tense. Like, I am a millionaire. I am, you know, an excellent actor. You know, I'm an A-list actor, or, you know, I'm an NBA, you know, a superstar. I'm being the first round pick. Those things like that, right? And he says that it's so powerful that you're already believing that you are these things. One of the things that I noticed the other day when I posted the voiceover thing was when you believe in yourself fully, that you know you have, because ever since I was little, I don't know if you remember, like my abuela Socorro, she would be like, oh, que voz de locutor, or whatever. And she would say those things to me, and it's just like, I have a deep voice. I have a nice voice, and so do you. You got a really nice voice. You know, it's very clear. But we're blessed with those things, and just other things that we have as talents. Because I've been wanting to do a reel of a lot of things I know how to do. You know, just I could cut my hair. I could do things with a car, let's go do a little drift in a car or something like that. And just different scenes of things that I know how to do, and just bring it into a reel, and just but the main purpose of the reel is to like show people like,
I can do all these things.
Yeah, but so can you.
Right. Yeah.
Broaden your horizons. I can mountain bike. I could do these nice little cool tracks and stuff like that. Whatever it is. And the main thing that I did was like, because before I posted it, guess what happened? Became hesitant. I'm like, does it sound like I heard it 1,000 times over, 1,000 times over? I'm like, it sounds good. It sounds good, man.
And it was good. It was just funny seeing your face. You're like,
yeah,
pointing at the video up top.
But that's the point. It's bringing to attention.
Yeah.
Like, people are visual. Like, I saw this video recently where it's like, and this is what I'm trying to do with like our thumbnails and stuff, which is obviously putting the title up top, because people read in an F shape, which is you start with the first line, they'll go down the next line, and then it goes down again. So your top part of your thumbnail or your video has to be.
And we skim through things. So sometimes we don't read it fully, but something grabs our attention that we're just like, oh wait, let me actually read the full thing. Oh,
right. So that main F shape has to be the core of what you're trying to project to these people. And especially if people, because 80% is visual, the rest of the information comes in through your ears and everything else, touch and your other senses, right? But I became hesitant, and I was just like, man, it sounds good. Okay, you know what, I'm just gonna post it, man.
Yeah, like, you got to.
What's the problem with posting? If you don't like it, leave it down below. You know what I'm saying? And or
not even, just keep moving on.
So my point is that I became hesitant. It was but it didn't take long for me to say, within the first minute or two, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna post it. I posted it, and I worked. I could tell you I was like 3 hours just taking takes. That's where this camera, and I had that one over there. The tripod was off because I was literally trying to record with this camera, but then I was just like, you know what, let me just do it from the phone, 4K, 60 frames per second, and call it a day, because it was just easier to just upload on the computer. So taking out the memory stick and doing everything else, right? So then it's just like I put in time, and then I made sure the reel size is perfect just for, phones and just the real spaces on all the platforms. Yeah. And then I was just like, okay, so how do I draw the attention of people? Obviously, I have to put the EA Sports up top, which is the main, and then myself. So that means, okay, this guy might be doing something, What is this guy going to do? And then another thing, I was like, let me keep the video under 20 seconds. I did it in 9. You know what I'm saying? Straight to the point, got it done. And it's done pretty well on YouTube. It's got like over 600 views. TikTok is a couple hundred views there too. And then Instagram alone's got like almost 1,600 views. You know what I'm saying? And it keeps on going. And I've had a lot of likes on them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, and a lot of people have commented to me like, hey, bro, like that's just pretty good, or spot on, or like, hey, Joseph the other day hit me up. He's like, he was laughing at it. I'm like, what's wrong with it? He's like, no, bro, it's spot on. Like, you did good. And it's just like, those are the things that it's just like, it proves that sometimes you just got to take that risk. To in order to achieve a goal, and no matter what anybody says, whether people were negative about it, but I believe that my voice sounds good. It sounds good. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good judge at like, okay, if it doesn't sound good, I'll be like to myself, Shamir, it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, be realistic about it.
Practice it. You know what I'm saying? And whatever maneuver. But if you internally know that something sounds good, or something you're doing is right,
just take that leap of faith and see what happens.
And just put it out there. Show the content. And another thing is being consistent with the content. Once you release a video, okay, go on. Bro, I have a list of things this whole week. I've been watching commercials and all that stuff. I'm like, who could I do that I know I can do? You know what I'm saying? and I got a bunch listed, but since it's been a hectic,
it's been a busy time,
and the New Year's and all that stuff,
Christmas and New Year's.
I haven't been able to sit down because, again, I told you just to do that 10-second video, 9-second video, it took me 3 hours to get the right take, because that's another thing, using Logic Pro with the recording, the voiceover while using interface and all that stuff. It's good to take a bunch of takes to get to the right one. And then what I was doing is that I'm lining my voice up with what he's doing, what he's saying, and listening it together, mashed up in one whole video. And it sounded so on point, that one that I posted, that I was just like, okay, I'm going with this one. So, you know, it takes time, but I know I'm going to put out more stuff. Like, I want to do Toyota commercials. That would be freaking awesome, and a goal to do. Yeah. You know, do a voiceover for Toyota, because they also are part of the NFL. So I want to put my NFL voices out there that I know I could do, and then do the Toyota commercial too, and then just keep releasing those videos out there, you know, and then, and, you know, you never know.
And this is how you come up with the goals. You do them. You talk about them, and you do them, and you put a lot of time.
Take the time. If you know that, like, this year, I want to encourage everyone to, if whatever one goal you have, just one, work on it, write it down, work on it, or look the ways to how you're going to accomplish the goal within this year, and work on it, and put in time. Make sure that you're using your time wisely. Once you understand that time is your biggest asset that you have in your life, then you're going to start to reevaluate the things that you are doing.
Yeah, definitely.
And the things that you should stop doing, and put more time into those things, like, you know, the goals you want to accomplish. Because I've been able to do it. Listen, the last few days, I even tried, even that video, I did it in between other things that I had going on, you know, but the kid wasn't home. So I took advantage of that, and bam, and I knocked it out. I'm like, okay, that was the main one I wanted to do, but there's a bunch of other stuff that I want to do, you know? And then also I want to finish this year of school, going on my 3rd year of school, solid, rock solid. And I'm starting to feel like what's the Fantastic Four rock guy's name?
The Thing.
The Thing. I feel like The Thing.
Ooh, it's coming out next year, by the way. That
yes, stay tuned to that. Then hopefully it's a good movie.
I hope so. I hope so.
And
yeah, I've got multiple goals.
I think one of the highlights last year was the Deadpool movie and Wolverine.
This past year, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I still watch it every now and then. I
still haven't been able to see it.
Like, if I need to fall asleep or something, I'll just put Deadpool on and just, you know. But
he said, "I'm falling asleep to Deadpool."
Yeah. So, you know, one of the last things that I want to talk about in regards to my goals is,
yeah, I still haven't even gotten mine in. Can you believe that, people?
It's okay. Do you want to go ahead and?
No, you might as well finish. It's fine.
It's real quick. It's literally to have the mentality of, no matter what anybody says, that I am going to do and pursue what I want, and make a brand out of what I'm doing. That is my main goal this year. That's going to accomplish everything else that I said earlier, which is to just build my brand, build what I want to do, and have a good time doing it, you know, feeling awesome, feeling exhausted, feeling right, and understanding that it's the things that make me happy, you know. And there's a lot of other things that I want to do, you know. Maybe this is a long-term goal, maybe like a clothing line or something like that. That'd be awesome to have.
Oh yeah,
call it Carrillo. It's just a nice last name, so it's like, you know, it'd be strong, you know. If all these other brand names could do it, you know, so could
that's true.
That's a long-term goal, but, you know, definitely like real estate and all that stuff is something I want to get into, you know.
That's constant income for sure.
Yeah, it's passive income. Every month you could fall asleep for 30 days and wake up and be like, okay, the bank account's still, all right, we're back another 30 days in hibernate, because it's constant money. You know, people need 2 things in life other than food, which is a place to live and a car.
Yeah.
Other than food. So basic necessities, it's the way to go.
That's very true.
Proceed, mate. Sorry for talking so much.
Well, I don't want to consume too much time, but I mean, the goal of it is for sure to continue the acting stuff, honing my skills, learning as much as I can, different techniques, different ways to get into the characters, script analysis, all of that other stuff. I have to provide for my family currently, so I've taken somewhat of a slight detour, and just focusing on my day job as well. Thankfully, where my day job is at, I have the opportunity to still be around entertainment. So, I'm gonna keep moving forward with that. I've been at the job now for 4 months. Lots of twists and turns. It hasn't been easy, and the hours have not been consistent. But during this holiday season, it's been pretty good. So I've been able to make ends meet, as it were. What else can I say? I certainly have other goals. I want to become healthier. I definitely want to feel healthier. So I'm going to be working hard on that. Making as many relationships as I can with different people, because you just never know who you're making relationships with and how you can change people. And, it's kind of happening currently too. So I'm really happy about that. It's always nice to connect with people. Every single one of us, we go through different things in life. So sometimes when you connect and relate to similar things, you're just like, oh, I think I'm going to like this person. This is going to be great. Sometimes they could be rough around the edges, or they could be weird, or they could be, kind of funny and silly. And I like all those kinds of things around me. So, definitely make sure that you guys make connections too. A lot of times we tend to isolate ourselves based off of what people have hurt us, and they've affected us in a negative way, and we can't do that. It's impossible to get through life in a healthy manner alone. Like, it's just not going to work. I don't care what anybody says. It's a freaking lie if they say that that's the best way to live life. No, you're going to become selfish. You're going to become bitter at some point or another. And you're not even going to be able to share your accomplishments with anybody because you did it all by yourself. Mm-hmm. And so that's my goal for this new year, is certainly to build up relationship, build up character, and all the other stuff I mentioned previously. That's all kind of obviously in a nutshell. It's not super detailed, but we don't want to take more of your time. I'm just kind of curious what you guys are going to be doing this year. I really want to know. So please reach out to us, comment down below, let us know, message us, whatever it is. But I really prefer comments, because that's what just helps the algorithms here and on YouTube specifically. Yeah. But of course, you guys can reach out to us on Instagram or Facebook, TikTok. I don't know how that necessarily works. He's in charge of the TikTok. I don't want to become a TikTok addict. I really don't.
It's been terrible, because like I've literally, it's become like not a binge, but like every time I hop on to see like what our numbers are doing, it ends up going to the For You page, and then it's just like I see something cool. Yeah. But it's not terrible, because like it is very informative, as long as you have a good algorithm of what you're trying to look for on a daily basis. Because if you're looking for motivational things or whatever, your algorithm is going to become that, and it's going to, you know what I'm saying?
It is good.
And so,
and helpful.
But it is, the reason why I say it's become bad is because it's just like, man, like it'll
you just killed 45 minutes or something
like that. Not that much, but the good 10, 15 minutes where you're just like, man, so it's those things definitely that we want to correct in this new year. Yeah. Be able to be diligent with our time. Our goal here in Bump Podcast, like Nabil said, is to bring more people on. You guys will see that. We're going to push. We are on a very tight schedule, whether if it's our work schedules or school or whatever, but we're going to make it happen. Yeah. We're going to make it work for you guys and for this podcast.
We will be in another new studio, so stay tuned for that as well.
That and we did speak about doing, we're going to do our Spanish version of the Bump Podcast.
Still working on it, but yeah, that is a top goal too.
We are gonna
reach out to our Hispanic community, because it's out there.
Yeah, and we wanna just continue to bring the goodness to the community, but in different languages. I think have a better reach in general.
It's a blessing to be bilingual. So
yes, for sure. And so we're gonna be doing that very soon. We'll probably do a separate account, maybe, or we could just separate the files.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah,
I was going to talk to you about that, so we'll talk to you. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, do you have anything else?
No, that pretty much sums it up. I hope that you guys have eaten well, spent time with your family, and you're ready to conquer this new year. Leave it in God's hands; He'll take care of it.
Alrighty, so let me say one more saying or two because these are all really good ones. It's just, let's see. Anyways, here's one. It says, never be limited by other people's limited imaginations.
Imagination.
Remember that? Yeah, that's hilarious.
SpongeBob.
And then the last one is, the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Okay. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the ringle dingle dingle. Follow us on all our social platforms and start this new year with some good energy. Anybody with bad vibes, terrible vibes, get them away from you and just start something new with new people that are refreshing to your life. I'm not saying everybody has to agree with anything you're saying. What I'm saying is people that want the same thing as you, which is to succeed, progress, move forward, to read books, to work out, to be an actor, to be whatever you are trying to be. And be around that. Don't be around people that are limiting you, that talk down on you, that have never accomplished anything. Correct. And even if they have, because I've had tons of people that are accomplished people in society talk down on me. But hey, that's your lane over there. This one's mine over here, and that's perfectly fine. Because you know what? Constructive criticism or criticism in general is just medicine to my issues, to my downfalls. You know what I'm saying? It'll bring me back up, because not what everybody says is the final determinant of your success and your career. So we love you guys. It'll be until next week, and Happy New Year's again, and we love you. We love all of you. Take care.
Bye, guys.